bonjour, honey. Ogimaa Nadijwon, Chippewa of Nawash, sitting with my counterpart, co-chief from Saugeen Ojibway Nation.
Sayani, bonjour, Ogimaa Chinimki, Indigenous, Saugeen Ojibway, Chief Conrad Ritchie for Saugeen First Nation.
Yes, it's we're sitting together to discuss where we're at in the involvement in a project that's being proposed, and we're going to share where we are, what our thoughts are, what we've done to date, and we want to make sure that any meetings we've had, any discussions we had, we do with transparency and with availability of sharing with the membership. We have a large membership of, when you count the members in both communities, the members on reserve and off reserve. So this actually discussion started 5 years ago when we were approached by representatives of TCE, Trans-Canada Energy, about an idea they had that they had planned for the territory. That if this project were to grow legs, it would be in the territory, and they realized that they wanted to do it with method, with thought towards free, prior, and informed consent, and they wanted to make sure that they were approaching us with that in mind.
Yeah, it's been the project, the pump storage project that we've been engaged with for the last 5-6 years now. Both communities have had representatives that have sat on the file and have been right part of the process right from the get-go. And I think one thing that really stands out is in regards to that is the ability to have our voice and a lot of our perspectives and our worldviews a part of that process and included in that process as well. And I think some of the challenging things that sometimes could exist is outside views outside of our nations can sometimes could hinder the process or things like that, and so and we are doing the engagements, and we'll continue to do those engagements, and we'll continue to gather the feedback and the criticism and some of the things that people may have concerns with the project, and we'll take those concerns and that feedback back to the drawing board and making sure that we do our diligence around answering some of the questions that our members have from our nation. So I think one thing that I really wanted to stress is this is our process, and this is our way of doing things for our people, and that no outside forces or other people can determine that for us. And so this is a process that we're establishing and a trail that we're blazing for our nations and for our people. So I guess there's going to be a bit more engagements. There's going to be a stellar process. There's still things that are ongoing with the whole project, and so we're doing our part to ensure that we're reflecting our people's voices within this process and ensuring that because a lot of it is just like it may be new to some of us. It may be a new way of doing things because of the way business has been done in the past with our people. But this is a process where we may not get it right 100%, and that's why we're doing it. And the only way to find out is to continue doing it. And I think in order to do that, we need our people with us to really be a part of those engagements and getting that proper information and ensuring that information that they're hearing comes from us and not from outside resources that are trying to dictate or interfere in our way of doing business. And so I just wanted to point out that fact that this is our process, and we're going to continue to do it that way, and continue to be that voice in that process. So and as I said in the beginning, like we've been right apart from the get-go, and we've had our voices acknowledged and recognized in this process, and we've did a bit of work along the way, and there's been a whole redesigning of the project right from the beginning, and everything has changed to really reflect our worldview as Indigenous peoples, as a nation here, and just having the seats at the tables to be able to say and determine, hey, this has to change, and okay, this is what we know, so we're gonna have to alter this, and making sure that whereas maybe in the past people haven't really recognized the Indigenous worldview on certain things, so people would just go ahead and do projects and do this, and not considering the land, not considering the water, not considering the fish, and everything that's tied into that. And so a lot of what we bring is a lot of that environmental understanding, and our understanding of the waters, our understanding of the land, our understanding of just the environment. And I think that's the biggest piece, and I think that's a big piece that's really missing in a lot of different companies or corporations is that Indigenous say in that view, and slowing things down. You know, it may cost a bit more, but at least we're doing our diligence around that to making sure that in the future, you know, that you know, if we really care about the future, then we're going to have to invest a bit more for the future, and based on the way things are going now in society, and the way people are living, and the way we have a value system. You know, we have to find alternative ways to really blend our worldview with the times, and finding a path forward for our people, to make sure that our people aren't left out of the picture, and without a say within our territory. So I just wanted to add a little bit of that for now. So.
Yes, and this is an energy project. It's assisting the province to meet its energy goals. And it's also a project that focuses and concentrates on net zero. It is a project that takes into consideration the impacts of climate change and global warming. It is going to be a plus for the province, and with our input, it's going to be a plus for the Indigenous peoples of the territory, knowing that they are involved in a project that has given so much thought to the environment and impacts, so much thought to the water and possible impacts, and have asked the membership, and the membership put forth concerns, one of them being the flow of water when it comes out and in, out of the lake up into the reservoir, and then from the reservoir back into the lake. There was concerns that there was creating too much of an issue with fish impingement and entrainment, and we shared that with the company. They went back to their engineers, came back with a totally new prototype of how they would prevent that from happening when they're taking the water from the bay and returning it. So we had biologists that are familiar with the water currents and that get involved, and they're totally satisfied that the result from re-engineering that aspect of the project was, second to none, really. And we brought in experts on species at risk to go over the territory that was being developed and to look at that situation, and they had come back with, yes, there are species at risk there, and they listed them, and they gave suggestions and recommendations how they could lessen the impact. And even after the project's finished, of returning the land to its natural state. I mean, as the project is ongoing for the next 50 years, the land will be rehabilitated with flora and fauna. And it's a situation where we look long and hard at, are the impacts insurmountable? And when we ask the questions and we ask them to vote and do and research the place where the development is happening, they've been able to come back and say, no, this project, if they take into consideration how it moves forward, will be one that has probably less impacts than most projects that take place in the province and the country. So we're still at the table. We haven't signed onto any agreement. We've still got lots of discussions with the community. But I must say that we, at this point, are satisfied that if in the future we do decide to sign on as partners, that we will have checked all the boxes in regards to the project and any harms, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats is a analysis that we have and are completing. So, but I must mention that there are a lot of people that seem to be against the project, and we've looked at their rationale as to why they seem to oppose the project, and we think it's a lot of misinformation. Statements are made like there's cheaper ways of doing stored energy projects, and we agree. There are cheaper ways. That doesn't mean there are better ways that project will be completed. Doing a project and saying, making a statement like that is like, yes, there probably are cheaper ways of doing projects, but we want the best way of doing a project. And will the cost be inflated? Yes, because we're using the best technology available, and that comes at a cost. But in the end, this project will be available to support us as a community as a source of revenue into the the next 3 decades, 4 decades. And so we have to look at that. This is a project not specifically about money. Money is involved, but this project is about doing a project that, again, checks all the boxes, is promoting a net zero energy project. This is what the governments throughout the world meet for every 4 years to discuss at a summit. How can we achieve net zero energy production? And this will be a big plus in that regard. Chief?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that this is just an update of certain aspects of the process right now. There will be a continuation of information that will flow on back to the communities. And if there's more questions or if there's things that our members have concerns of or anything like that, I would really encourage to come out and keep an eye out for engagements and come out to those to get informed, to hear the proper information from us, from our people. Because we've had our, as Chief Nadijwon mentioned, we've had our environmental study done that was developed and processed by our own teams, our own experts and everything, our own technical teams that facilitated that process and gathered that information for us. And this is information that we want to share with our communities and we didn't have any other experts outside of us to do the work. We've hired within our own people to be able to bring that information to our communities. So, and a lot of the information that we're talking about now is just a snippet of what we've been doing and a snippet of the process. And as we progress and move along, there's going to be more engagements in both communities, and then that will bring that information for our people, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or anything. I think the most important thing to remember is that it's not just me and Chief Nadijwon's process or any of our councils. It's the people's process as well. So, in order for that process to come to life, the people have to come and say and have a voice and be a part of that process and help drive that process through your participation and through your hard questions, through the criticism, through the feedback, and it doesn't necessarily mean we have to be stuck on one certain path or one certain light, but the way things are going, these are the opinions and the views currently. But if there's others that come to help facilitate that, it may help create a different narrative around the whole process, and we can ensure that, okay, if this is the path or these are the things that people are saying, then we have to adjust and making sure that it's reflective of that voice. So other than that, that's all I have to say for that, and just keep an eye out for the next little while for engagements. And if you are unsure of that, I believe we have a social media page, which is on Facebook. I believe it's the Saugeen Environmental Office page. So there's a lot of good information on there. I believe we have a website as well, which is the Saugeen Environmental Office. I believe if you Google it, you can pull it up, and they'll have all kinds of information on there and quick links and things like that. And you could either reach out to me and Chief Nadijwon at our offices or any of the counselors that sit on those files and ask the questions, and I would encourage that as well, to ask those. And so with that, I'll say miigwech for listening for my portion of this conversation. Miigwech.
Thank you, Chief. And in ending, I'd just like to say this is an example how self-government should work. And it'll lead us to become stronger as communities and on the road to self-determination. I emphasize that for the membership to be involved, to ask you, as the chief said, to ask what may be considered hard questions, because we want this project to be our project, not chief and council's project, our project. So having said that, miigwech mamampi, wish the best for everyone and sign off.
Mamampi.